Hey guys, it's your best boxing friends. You know, Rachel, there's a big fight coming up that I'm pretty excited about. Okay? Just rumors announced today. More than rumors, though. This was reported by Mike Coppinger at The Athletic that the welterweight battle, Garcia versus Garcia, guys. Both are trained also by men with the last name Garcia. I mean, it's just a Garcia bonanza. What do you think about Garcia Garcia, Rachel? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, my guess would be, is it Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia?
Yeah.
Okay. In my head, they seem like different sizes, but like I'm a little
Well,
confused of where Mikey
that's
Garcia
because
is.
Mikey
So,
Garcia was a lightweight champion,
yeah.
and actually started below that. I think at super featherweight. Also won the title at 140 pounds against Sergey Lipnitz. I think the Transnational Boxing Ranking Board might still have him listed as a lineal junior welterweight champion. But Mikey moved up, remember, to fight Earl Spence in a supposed super fight. It was pretty much a one-sided domination, but Earl Spence at welterweight. Mikey decided to stay at welterweight after that. He didn't get enough of that welterweight smoke, so now he wants to fight Danny Garcia. Now, Garcia is a former 140-pound champion who's moved up, and also, I think he also won a title at 147. But he doesn't have one now because Garcia was Garcia defeated recently? Should we look this stuff up before we talk on the camera? I know that he fought. Remember, he fought Keith Thurman in the fight. I think it ended in a draw in a fight neither person wanted to win. That's right. He lost to Sean Porter.
Okay.
Sean Porter took his belt, and now Danny Garcia is a beltless former champion, looking to make his name the same name versus Danny Garcia. I just can't stop. All day on Twitter, I've been like Garcia versus Garcia. I like it because I can talk about the matchup in very vague ways. Where I'm like, I definitely think Garcia is going to defeat Garcia. While Garcia is a good counterpuncher, Garcia has the edge in jabs and body punches. Also like Garcia as the trainer of Garcia. A much better trainer than Garcia for Garcia because Garcia.
Well, I'm interested that Mikey Garcia wants to continue to fight at this weight, and yeah, like I find that interesting because his first showing wasn't spectacular, although it was against the arguably one of the best opponents like in this weight class. So maybe Danny Garcia is a more, maybe this is who he should have fought first to begin with.
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
definitely Danny Garcia is much more beatable at welterweight
Yeah,
than Earl Spence is.
Definitely. So I find that interesting. I don't know. I guess I have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for Mikey Garcia. For some, like I've always liked him, and I remember when he fought Spence, a lot of stuff. I saw a lot of people being like, "I don't really know what Mikey Garcia's done to warrant like all this goodwill or what have you." You bring up good points, but it's there. It's in my little heart, and so I'm like, oh, maybe Mikey can do it this time.
Do you think that's partially attributed to that his name is Mikey and not like Michael Garcia? You know, like maybe it's just like, oh, Mikey Garcia, you know?
No, I just liked, I always felt that he worked really hard, tried really hard. He of course, brought in some talent into the ring. I liked the relationship between him and his brother. I feel like I haven't heard like a ton of terrible stuff come out of their mouths when they've been in the ring together. Like, I don't know. Like, I've just always liked them.
Seemed to have a lot of class. Is definitely one of the most skilled fighters in all boxing. I think the weight jump was too big for him, especially against Earl Spence. I don't know how he does against Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia is, I think, more built better for the welterweight division. But you know what? Danny Garcia tends to wait around and counterpunch people to death. Garcia is skilled enough that I wonder if he can kind of short circuit that ability to counter. What do you think about Daniel Garcia? Let's start calling him Daniel and Michael, just for no reason.
Well, we've talked before about how I was disappointed when him and Thurman fought, and they both, neither seemed like they really wanted to do what it took to win that fight. And he and his trainer / father have said some like asinine things, like in the ring and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's something.
Mostly his father.
Yeah. And so, but I have a problem with somebody who's just like, well, I'm just going to stand here while, like, this person, like, I'm not going to say anything about what this person is saying. Like, I'm just going to, I don't find it very courageous or strong. Like, I guess I sense some this is gonna seem too harsh, like cowardice. Like there's something about it like I just don't like, and I don't see strength like in Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
I liked him when he first like came out. Remember he fought Eric Morales?
Yeah, we were at
and
that
it
fight.
was like a surprise, like he won, like
First fight, yeah.
and yeah, he like came out of nowhere, and then he was just like, you know, fighting and doing his best, and then it was, I don't know, to me, here's what I see. I saw something change in him, and it was partially like what triggered me is the way that he dresses, and that is
it's part of a culture that you don't.
Yeah, like it's
You're not.
What is that? Like short-sighted or whatever on my part. That's a mark against me. Because people are different all over the world, and so just because somebody dresses like Danny Garcia or somebody dresses like how people from Nigeria dress.
I'm in
like,
my pajamas literally right now.
People from Nigeria at our church, like we go to church and we have a lot of people from Nigeria. They dress very like, you're like, oh, they're from Nigeria, you know immediately. I don't think poorly of them because they dress differently, but for some reason with Danny Garcia, like I do.
Yeah.
And so that is a mark against me. But I also wonder if it doesn't like tell me a little something about him and something that has changed for him when he became famous, maybe got a lot of money. So like another example of this is we've seen other people this happen to. Jewel, the singer from like the 90s, you might remember.
Yeah.
Came up, singer-songwriter, like she lived in a van, like all this seemed like really down to earth, and all of a sudden you started seeing Jewel in like these kind of
push-up bras.
Very revealing, like, I don't know, I feel like she was finding herself like out in front of the whole world.
Everybody,
and I get that happens
that's
sometimes.
happening to everybody.
But did that say like a little bit about what Jewel was going through in her life and, you know, figuring out who she was? I think that it did, you know? And that's her journey, like, and what have you. So this is Danny Garcia's journey. It's just like maybe I just don't particularly like him right now where he's at in his journey.
Really like your honesty, Rachel. I feel like we could coin a term, judgmental non-judgment. But it's fine. Like these are normal thoughts that people have. I feel kind of when I saw Danny Garcia's video, I was like, remember his music video? I was like, and so it's just part of human life. Now, Danny Garcia has been a really good fighter over the years. He's won fights that I didn't expect him to win, and he certainly is one of the most talented welterweights in the world today. I haven't seen the odds for this fight yet, but I would expect Danny Garcia to be a slight favorite in this fight because he's going to be the naturally larger. I think stylistically, too, counterpunchers usually have an advantage over the other guy because they make the fighter fight on their terms. The fighter has to come to him, and that's his best thing is countering, and he counters hard. He's not Floyd Mayweather, who I think Frank Lotacero from the Sweet Science term hits just hard enough to win. He knocks you out. He's a hard puncher, and so I'm excited about the fight. I think it's a great fight. I don't know. I hope it's not on pay-per-view, you know, because like I ain't got that cheddar. You know what I mean? Like too many fights on pay-per-view. We got to save up for Fury versus Wilder 2 or whatever, right? We got to save up for those things.
I got to save up to pay the electric bill.
We got to pay the zone, you know? If you're out there today, $20 a month doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that it's not pay-per-view.
Yeah. You don't have to save up, though, to like, comment, and subscribe. That is free.
That's free.
I mean, except for, like, your time. And I know your time is valuable. So in
But
that way,
hold
I guess
on.
it costs you something.
Is it?
It is.
But is it, though?
It is.
I mean, if you've gotten this far in the video, I think that you definitely have time to like, comment, and subscribe.
Well, at least, like, subscribe and like.
Statistics
That's like
show.
a second each. I get the comment part, you know? Although I feel like,
Just leave a comment of comment down there. And then hashtag Garcia Garcia.